Good morning to all the students. We have already studied almost all the chapters, all the topics from this chapter, chapter 9, reproduction in animals. Okay, in which we have gone through this reproduction, sexual reproduction, asexual reproduction. After this, in fertilization, internal and external fertilization, development of embryo. Okay. Hmm. And this photos also, okay, the stage of the embryo in which all the body parts can be identified is called a photos. Okay, these are the topics we have discussed in last session, and in this session we are going to study about this fertilization in hens. Okay, we can say how this chickens takes birth. Okay, so internal fertilization takes place in hens also, but do hens give birth to babies like human beings and cows? Okay, have you seen anywhere that this hens give birth to chickens? Okay, directly like this, we human beings or cows or dogs, etc. Okay, so you know that they do not. Okay, you already observed the eggs. Okay, or eggs from hens. So then, how the chicken born? Let us find out. Soon after fertilization, the zygote divides repeatedly and travels down the oviduct. As it travels down, many protective layers are formed around it. Okay, we already discussed in this development of embryo. Okay, see, observe this figure. That here, after a fusion of this zygote, okay, this cell, zygote cell, this zygote goes through this oviduct, and it goes to uterus. Okay, so in this journey it goes very many protective layer. Okay, so simply we can observe that after fertilization the zygote divides repeatedly and travels down the oviduct. As it travels down, many protective layers are formed around it. Okay, the hard shell that you see in a hen's egg is also one of the such protective layers. Okay, so it's simply this eggshell is also one of the protective layer, we can say. So after the hard shell is formed around the developing embryo, the hen family lays the egg. Okay, it simply means that this developing embryo, or we can say forming a hard shell, take place inside the female body. Okay, inside the hen only. Is it clear? Okay, and after completing the hard shell, after the hard shell is formed around the developing embryo, the hen finally lays the egg. The embryo takes about 3 weeks to develop into a chick. Is that clear? Embryo takes about 3 weeks to develop in the chick. Okay, you must have seen you must have seen the hen sitting on the eggs to provide sufficient warmth. Okay, we can say after getting some warmth, these eggs are getting some such protective layer. Is that clear? So that you must have seen the hen sitting on the eggs to provide sufficient warmth. Did you know that development of the chick takes place inside the eggshell during this period? Okay, we already discussed that development of the chick takes place inside the eggshell during this period. Okay, after the chick is completely developed, it bursts open the eggshell. Okay, you might have observed in such videos that this chicken breaks the eggshell. Okay, we can say it breaks the outside of the protective layer eggs protective layer of this egg. Okay, and we can say that after the chick is completely developed, it bursts open the eggshell. Okay, in animals which undergo external fertilization, development of the embryo takes place outside the female body. Okay, we can say in external fertilization, this development of the embryo takes place outside the female body. The embryos continue to grow within their egg coverings only. Okay, as we have seen further that this embryo is complete development of the embryo takes place outside the female body. Okay, so the embryo continue to grow within their egg coverings only. Okay, after the embryos develop, the egg hatch. Okay, and this baby comes out. Okay, baby like we can say chicken or any respective babies. Okay, you must have seen numerous tadpoles swimming in ponds and streams. Okay, we have already gone through this example in an activity about this frog. Okay, that this female body and male body gametes some. Okay, expose some gametes, and this development takes place. Okay, so you must have seen the numerous tadpoles swimming in ponds and stream. Okay, or any other water sources. Okay, so this is the topic we are going to study. That is viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, we have gone through this reproduction in animals such as uh, hens. Okay, or we can say these frogs. Okay, we can say external fertilization. Okay, in which this external fertilization takes place. Okay, with the help of these eggs. Okay, so now moving forward to the next topic, it is viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, simply we can say there are two main types. Okay, with the help of this sexual reproduction. Okay, of these animals, and it is viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, so what is it actually? We have learned that some animals give birth to young ones, while some animals lay eggs, which later develop into young ones. Okay, we already discussed with the example of hens also that some animals give birth to young ones like us. Okay, like we human body, cows, dogs, cats, etc. Okay, you might have observed such things that the some animals give birth to young ones. Okay, while some animals lay eggs. Okay, like hen, which later develop into young ones. So the animals which give birth to young ones, okay, the animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous animal. Okay, is that clear? It's very simple. We can say, okay, it's very slight difference that these animals which give birth to young ones are called viviparous, and those animals which lay eggs, okay, are called oviparous animals. Okay, in the example of viviparous, you can take as a human body, or a human beings. After these dogs, cats, cows, etc. Okay, and in oviparous, you can take example of lizard. After these hens, okay, butterfly, etc. Okay, so the following activity will help you understand better and difference between viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, so let's go with this activity. What you are given? Activity 9.2. Try to observe eggs of the following organisms: frog, lizard, butterfly, or moth, hen and crow, or any other bird. Okay, you might have observed many eggs. Okay, but each and every egg need not to be by hen only. Okay, so observe the eggs. Observe, were you able to observe the eggs of all of them? Make drawing of the eggs that you have observed. Okay, the eggs of few animals are easy to observe because their mothers lay them outside their bodies. Okay, it's very simple that we have already discussed that these hens and many other animals are laying eggs. Okay, so you might have observed, you can observe it, but these are okay. These are example of oviparous animals, but you would not be able to collect the eggs of a dog, cow, or cat. Okay, have you hear this that this dog have put some eggs, or a cow is cow lays some eggs? Huh? So it's not possible that you cannot you would not be able to collect the eggs of a dog, cow, or cat. Okay, this is because they do not lay eggs. Okay, it's very simple. The mother gives birth to the young ones. Okay, in this dog, cows, or cat. Okay, or even you can take human body also, human beings also. These are example of viviparous animals. Okay, so I hope it's clear to all of you now. Can you now give some more examples to viviparous and oviparous animals? Okay, so let's say this is the homework for you guys. Okay, just write down the definition of viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, it's only one line. Okay, and write down at least 5 examples. Okay, at least 5 examples of both of them, viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, so this is your homework. Okay, in next lecture we will study about these young ones to adults and asexual reproduction, and we will oh, okay, this life cycle of frog also. Okay. Hmm. So we will complete this chapter. We will close this chapter after this two session. Okay, we need more. We need two more session to complete this chapter. Okay, I hope this viviparous and oviparous animals is clear to all of you. Okay, this is the quite theory. Okay, in this session, I can say downside this photos in the uterus. Okay, this is the quite theory based. So therefore, we are going to read and study today. Okay. So write down this definition of viviparous and oviparous animals. Okay, here you can get, and write down at least 5 examples of both of them. Okay, this is your homework for today, and thank you very much. And that's it for today. Have a nice day to all of you.